Jimmy, the smartest thing you can do is to stay away from Terence. That's the smartest thing.
You're a legendary promoter.
Like Benavidez. You.
He had one leg.
You gonna look like
He had one
one
leg. He had one leg.
I'm gonna make you do the stanky leg. Now stop him. Y'all gonna say he was too weak.
On my life.
And he stayed at 147.
You would not stop
too long.
me. You would not stop me.
Okay. I'm gonna make you do the stanky leg. Stanky leg.
Just give me my props.
Who is Errol Spence Jr. gonna fight? Now that we got word that neither Terence Crawford or Errol Spence is gonna be facing Sebastian Fundora or Tim Tszyu anytime soon, who is Errol Spence Jr. gonna fight? It's your boy, Mr. 926, a.k.a. Bushido the Dragon, a.k.a. the Black Mage, a.k.a. I could just do this all day, the two-time demonetized champion of the world.
I need y'all to get the likes up, man. Get the likes up. Smash the like button. We have 350 people and 95 likes.
One thing I noticed about boxing is that fans don't seem to keep the same energy. And when it comes to Terence Crawford, who is he going to fight? Oh, he's been sent out too long. Oh, he needs to vacate the belts. But when we look at Errol Spence, who's been out of the ring for a considerable amount of time, he held on to some belts. And the question is, who is he going to fight? We've seen Terence Bud Crawford trying to get fights this year. Things just don't seem to be going his way. But now that Errol Spence has returned and hopped in the ring to try to fight Sebastian Fundora, Tim Tszyu winner, since he ain't getting those fights, well, how about we go ahead and go through with that rematch for Terence Bud Crawford? Yeah, I'm going to keep talking about that. Because not enough people is talking about that. Neither guy is going to be facing one of those two dudes anytime soon. Fundora is out, I believe, for 8 months. Tim Tszyu is probably out around the same amount of time. And then by the time they fight, they got to fight again. Let's say, for example, Tim Tszyu wins. Tim Tszyu wins, then there may be a rubber match or something, right? Then they send out even longer. They're getting older and older and older. And these are younger guys that they're trying to fight against. So why not fight each other in the meantime? How about we settle the score between Terence Crawford and Errol Spence once and for all? I still have yet to see, honestly, either guy say that they're interested in going through with that fight right now. Now, Terence Crawford probably is less interested because of how the first fight played out. But Errol Spence should be eager to get his get back at Terence Bud Crawford. But I don't sense no eagerness from Errol Spence. I don't sense no eagerness from his fans to tackle the task of Terence Bud Crawford. I don't sense that urgency. I don't sense that eagerness. I don't sense that readiness. So right after the fight between Tim Tszyu and Sebastian Fundora, once we heard about that rematch that they're going through with, Errol Spence should have been on social media the next day saying, well, Terence, let's do it. Nah, we didn't get that at all. Radio silence. We haven't heard none since. Don't tell me Errol Spence has gone back into hiding. Don't tell me Errol Spence has gone back on vacation. Don't tell me Errol Spence has went back to his ranch. Because now that he came out, and boxing fans was excited to see the big fish back. But we need to see him in action. And one thing that we can say about Errol Spence is that he's been very inactive as a fighter. And at this point, if he's not going to face Terence Crawford or any of the notable names that we mentioned, I wouldn't mind seeing him just to fight a tune-up just to get back. Because fans don't never put that pressure on Spence. They don't. They don't put pressure on Spence to fight Boots. They don't put pressure on Spence to do the things that they asked Terence Crawford to do. Nah, they don't do that at all. They don't keep that same energy. But I expect Errol Spence relatively soon to challenge Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford shouldn't have to challenge him. Terence Crawford is at the top of the mountain. He's at the top of the boxing mountain. So Errol Spence should be on his way climbing back up to that mountain to challenge Terence Bud Crawford for that #1 headband. But I don't think Errol Spence is going to do that. I just don't think he's going to do it. I would like to see him do it. And even despite how that first fight played out, I would like to see Errol Spence give it another go. To see if the fight could play out differently or somewhat differently than it did the first time. I don't necessarily think it will. I think there's just too much of a wide skill gap. I think that there was too many times where Errol Spence was just not active as a fighter. I think there was too many times where Errol Spence didn't spend enough time in the gym. But Terence Bud Crawford, he's always in the gym. And while now Terence Crawford may have slowed down in getting fights right at this point of his career, towards the end of his career, he still stays in the gym and he still stays ready. So who Errol Spence go fight? That's the question. He came back, and I think he came back at the right time. He came back at the perfect time. In my Danny Jacobs voice. He came back at the perfect time. But unfortunately for him, Team Fundora had different plans. So now what was your plan B? Your plan B should be Plan Bud. Go after Bud Crawford and tackle that task. But maybe that's the end of the road type of fight for a lot of guys. A lot of guys seem to want to save Terence Crawford for last. And for obvious reasons. But I think the main reason is that he's the older fighter. And they want to try to age him out and slow him down a bit. Because Terence Bud Crawford been looking like a berserker ever since he moved up to 147 pounds. He don't necessarily seem to be slowing down at a rapid rate. He seemed to have gotten stronger and better. But who is Errol Spence go fight? I say he should be trying to fight none other than the pound-for-pound king himself, Terence Bud Crawford. Tell me what you guys think. Like, subscribe, holla at your boy. Peace out.